Hello everyone, my first video where I'm speaking, so take it easy on me. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Didn't really feel like sitting looking at training videos, so instead I went online and got some really simple programming challenges that they weren't specifically for Python, but they'll work fine in Python, and it's just something to make sure that what I've learned so far has sort of gone in and stayed in. So challenge number one is write a program that prints hello world to the screen. So this can be as simple as typing in print hello world. And then if we run that, we get hello world. What else we could do is we could do it like this. You see, we've got the same thing. So, challenge one, I guess it doesn't really matter how you do it. Probably could do, although this does seem like a pretty pointless way of doing it. Hello world, we could run that. Also get hello world there. So challenge number one, print hello world any way you know how. So challenge number two is write a program that asks the user for their name and greets them with their name. So for this, I think we will ask the user for their name. So we're just going to go for name equals input. Can you tell me your name? And then we're going to have a greeting, which is going to be hello. I'm going to put my name in there. I hope you are well. See, not actually sure if this one's going to work because it's not within brackets, but we shall see. And then we're going to print name and a space and then greeting. So let's run that and see if what I've done there will work. Can you tell me your name? My name is Paul. It says Paul, hello Paul. So I don't actually need name, do I? Because I've got name there and name gets inserted there. Don't need that name, I can just print greeting. So can you tell me your name? My name is Paul. Hello Paul, I hope you are well. Could then potentially ask it for another input. Actually, we'll leave that one there. Might come back and do something else with that shortly, depending on how we get on with the others. So modify the previous program such that only the users Alice and Bob are greeted with their names. Okay. So we'll copy that. So we've now got the previous program. We've already got name as an input, which says, can you tell me your name? And we've got a greeting, which says, hello, name, I hope you are well. So the only names that we are going to accept are Alice and Bob. So this is going to require an if statement. So if name, actually we'll, if name equals Alice, or name equals Bob, colon, and I need to indent that. So we've got name input, can you tell me your name? Greeting, hello name, I hope you are well. If the name equals Alice or the name equals Bob, print the greeting, I hope you are well. And let's just put in an else as well. Else, print, sorry, who are you? Like so. And we're going to run that. Can you tell me your name? Paul. Says, sorry, who are you, Paul? Run it again. Can you tell me your name? Alice. Hello, Alice. I hope you are well. Can you tell me your name? Stuart. Sorry, who are you, Stuart? Can you tell me your name? Bob. Hello, Bob. I hope you are well. So that's challenge number 3 done and completed. So challenge number 4, write a program that asks the user for a number n and prints the sum of the numbers 1 to n. Okay, so first of all we're going to need a number. So n is going to be an input, which is going to have to be an, no, it's the wrong way around. So it's going to have to be an integer input. Enter a number, question mark, space. So n is going to be an input that asks for a number. Sorry, that's the last one. Enter a number, and you're going to put in a number. So the first line works. So it's going to ask for a number, and it's going to print the sum of numbers from 1 to n. So this is going to be a for loop. We're going to have for I in range numbers from 1 to n. Now if we just do 1 to n, it will stop at the number below. So we're going to go 1 to n plus 1. What this is going to do now, if we quickly do print I, and we run this, enter a number 10, and it's printed the numbers 1 to 10. However, what we need to do is we need to add all the numbers together. So we will have a empty number. This is going to be an int that is empty. And then for I in range, we are going to go empty number equals empty number plus I. And then we're going to let it loop through all the numbers and add them together. So we can move that print back, and then we're going to get it to print empty number, which by this time shouldn't be an empty number. So let's see what we have now. Enter a number, 50. And we have an error. So where I have the int, we can't have that. We'll do that, we'll run it again. Enter a number, 50. So it's telling me that empty number has to be an int. So Let's see if we can format to an int there, and that'll work. Enter a number, 50. So I think what we can have instead is empty number equals 0, print empty number. Enter a number, 50, and it adds all the numbers together. So these challenges are also really good and proving to me things that I didn't know that I didn't know. So I'm not sure how to create a empty integer if I need to. I'm guessing by making it 0, but that is something that I will look back and check on. So that's challenge number 4. Terminate. So challenge number 4 is done. Challenge number 5. Modify the previous program such that only multiples of 3 or 5 are considered in the sum, e.g. 3, 5, 6, 9, etc. for a number that equals 17. Alright, we will just retype it. It'll be quicker. And we'll have please enter a number between 1 and 17. So we've got our input. Which we're going to change to a number so that it doesn't complain about it. So that's a number. Then we're going to have empty number equals 0, same as I did on the last one. Then we're going to have a for loop for I in range from 1 to number plus 1, because if they enter 17, this will only count to 16, so it's number plus 1 and put a code on the end. So we're now in the for loop. So if we print I, it's going to loop through the numbers. So in here we need an if statement. If, open brackets, number divided by 3, or number divided by 5, print I. So I'm just going to check that at this stage, see if that works. Please enter a number between 1 and 17. It's going to be 16. So I'm not sure how to do an if where it checks the number, checks to see if it's divisible. I think might be percentage. I'll run it again. No, all I keep getting is errors. Ah. My mistake, I think. So let's try 16. So 16 is divisible by 3. 16. I don't know how 4 gets in there. The empty number part we don't need. I'm going to remove that out of the way. for I range 1 to number plus 1, so we have a range of 1 to 18 and a usable loop of 1 to 17. So I'm going to try percentage again. Run that, print I, please enter a number, 16. So if I divided by 3 is not equal to 0, or if I divided by 5 is not equal to 0, then print I. Seems once we get to 3, we're not looping round anymore. So how about doing elif I divided by 5 is not equal to 0. Print I. Put that in there. Something like that. I don't have print I in there. That should run now. So, not actually sure, so such that only multiples of 3 or 5 are considered. Well, I thought if it was a multiple of 3, it would print I. If it was a multiple of 5, it would print I. But it doesn't seem to be doing that, so it's a simple little challenge, but one that I failed. So I definitely need to work on that. So we'll leave that open and move on to challenge number 6. Write a program that asks the user for a number. So I'm going to ask for a number. Please enter a number. It gives them the possibility between computing the sum and computing the product. Okay, so we're going to ask them to input a number, then I'm going to ask them just make it choice equals input would you like the product or sum of all numbers. So we've got one input, which is number. It's going to be please enter a number, and then choice is an input. Would you like the product or sum of all numbers? So the sum of all numbers is adding them all together. The product is multiplying them all by each other. So then we need a if choice is equal to product. Then what we're going to do is, if it's equal to product, we're going to need to add them all together. So we're going to need an empty number again, like in one of the past. empty number equals 0. If choice equals product, then we're going to have a for I in range 1 to number plus 1, and we're going to go empty number equals empty number, actually this is for sum. If choice equals sum, empty number equals empty number plus I. Right, that's the empty number equals empty number plus I in a for loop. In order to do the product of all numbers, multiplied by the new number, is going to be pretty much the same actually. So we're going to for I in range, actually having two for loops seems silly, so let's have for I in range if choice equals sum, do sum. Choice equals product. And we're going to do empty number equals empty number multiplied by I. And then at the end of our for loop, which is here, we're going to print empty number. So let's run this and see what we've got. So say please enter a number. I'm going to choose 10. Would you like the product or sum of all numbers? I would like the product. 0. Fairly certain that it shouldn't be 0. Should be 10 times 11 times 12 times 13. Let's just try it the other way first. Please enter a number 10, sum, $55. Okay, so the sum version works. 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which equals 5. So see, I could do if else equals sum, else equals product, empty number equals empty number times I, which should be 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 4, etc, etc. So I think what I'd do to debug, my wireless keyboard's gone to sleep again. I need to get some batteries. After a little bit of use it seems to go to sleep, which is no good. So I think what I'm going to do to debug this, unfortunately, is start working on this. Batteries in my wireless keyboard have gone flat, which is annoying, and it's not rechargeable. So we're going to print empty number at this stage just to see what it's coming up with as it loops through. Please enter a number 10. Would you like the product or sum? I would like the product. Empty number equals empty number plus I. Empty number equals empty number times I, but of course it doesn't. Empty number is 0. So you can times 0 by I as many times as you want to, and it's not going to go up. So this here, where I said I'm not sure how to declare something to be an int, is now showing up as possibly not being the best way of doing things. I don't actually know what the best way of doing things here is, but having it declared as 0 causes a problem, because on the first loop I want empty number to be 1, I don't want it to be 0. However, on creating the sum, it doesn't matter if it's 0, because on the first loop through it's going to add 1. So if it's product, empty number equals empty number times 1, which if empty number was 1, I'll just run that for you, please enter another 10. Would you like the sum of product? I would like the product. Then we actually get a decent answer. So that, again, I think on this one, what I need to do is I need to research declaring a empty int. If it's even possible, I'm not even sure. But if not, I'm not entirely sure. I'm happy with like the rest of the code. Obviously I'm collecting the number, I'm collecting the choice, I've got a for loop that's ranging through the numbers. If it equals sum, it's taking empty number to equal empty number plus 1. If I'm doing the product, it's taking empty number equals empty number times I. I times I is always going to give me the same. It's just going to be 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3. Yep, not actually sure on that one, guys. So what I'll do is I'll also that and challenge 5 I found problems with, and I will research. Write a program that prints, so we're going to do challenge number 7. Write a program that prints the multiplication table for numbers up to 12. Okay, so for I in range 1 to 13, so we get 1 to 12. So we're going to get a loop through of 1 to 12, then I'm going to want another for x in range 1 to 13. Feel all discombobulated now, my keyboard's gone. So we've got a 1 to 13 loop inside 1 to 13. So I think we will print number times by number equals the result. So this is going to be I is going to be the first loop, so we're going to do I times x equals I times x. Let's run that. There we go, it's not very pretty. Maybe we'll just print something here to separate the lines. There we go, equals print I times left, so 1 by 1 is 1, 1 by 2 is 2, 1 by 3, etc. Actually, want that indented 1, so it does it at the end of every set, not at the end of, see what I mean there? It's got every set. Now I think what I'm also going to do, if I can make it work, is we're going to make them, it's the highest number we get, 144. So we're going to make them a width of 3. And you can see that's tidied them up with right justified. Now if I remember rightly, if I wanted to left justify them, come up with that. So there we go, got the answers left justify. So that's challenge number 7 completed. What we have here, just in case you don't know, is take that out. The colon 3, make sure that it reserves 3 spaces for that input. I mean, what I should do actually, because you'll see when we come to 10 it changes. However, if I change that to colon 2, I'm just going to take that out as well for a minute. If I change that to colon 2, now when we get to 9 and 10, you can see that the times and the by and the equals all line up. So they're right justified within a space of 2 characters. If you want to, you can put in a little arrow to the left, run it again, and that will left justify all the characters. Anyway, that's challenge number 7. Do I need that for challenge? Oh, no, I don't need that for challenge number 8. Right, challenge number 8. Write a program that prints all the prime numbers up to 200. So a prime number is a number that can be divided by 1 in itself, and 1 isn't a prime number. So for I in range 2 to 201, so this is a loop that's going to loop through the numbers 2 to 201. Fairly simple. Just trying to remember how to find a prime number. So we're going to loop from 2 to 201. Then we need to count up from 1, or from 2 rather, count up from 2 to 200 to see, sorry, we need to take the, hang on, let me type it out, it'll make more sense. So I think we'll, for x in range 2 to I. So whatever I is, we only need to calculate up to I for that number, and then we'll be working on the next number. I know what I mean. So if, so we need an if. It's going to be I divided by x isn't equal to 0. Sorry, 0. Right, yeah, that's another for loop, so I missed out off the end. So if I being the main number divided by x being the number that counts up equals 0, then it is not a prime number. So I think at that stage, I think what I'll just do is not a prime number. So all those that don't meet that criteria are a prime number, which will be I. Let's try that. See, I need something in here. So that's not printing anything. What about if we is not equal to 0, so let's 4, 6, 6, 8, 10, 12. They're not prime numbers. 10, 12. These are all prime numbers plus 1. So I'm not really, for X in range, maybe I should be looking for a 1 there. I'm actually going to take this down to, how high are we going? I'll take it down to 101. 2, prime number 3, prime number 4, not a prime number. Divisible by 2, definitely. So I for I arranged. Sorry, it's not equals to 0. Equals to 0. Jesus Christ, why is it? 3, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. Alright, that else should be there. So I've got my indentations wrong. There we go, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29. They're the prime numbers up to 100s. They're the prime numbers up to 200. We got there in the end. I think not necessarily getting it right first time, but being able to solve the problem is a big part of learning. It certainly is for me anyway. If there's a problem, don't instantly look up, don't instantly sort of Google it and go, oh my God, I'll get the answer off Google. Go for it, give it a few attempts, give it a few tries and learn something by it. All it's asking for here is white spaces to make the code clearer. But yeah, that's challenge 8. I wasn't sure I was going to get that one, to be honest. Challenge 9. Write a guessing game where the user has to guess a secret number. After every guess, the program tells the user whether their number was too large or too small. At the end, the number of tries needed should be printed. It counts only as one try if they input the same number multiple times consecutively. This might actually be beyond me, because I get the feeling that they're going to have to go into a list or dictionary, but I'm going to give it a go. So, one thing that we do need is a secret number. And our secret number is going to be 9. So after every guess, the program tells the user whether their number was too large. So we're going to need an input within a loop. So let's create a variable called correct. So 0. Then if correct. The reason I've used 0 is honestly I can't remember the options for true and false. So 0 is going to be false, 1 is going to be true. And I will write that on my pad and it'll either come to me or I will look it up. So if correct equals 0, then right, while correct equals 0, so while we keep getting it wrong, it's going to keep looping round. So if correct equals 0, input actually we'll have number equals int input, please enter a number. Feels weird typing up here on my laptop keyboard because it's up on a stand on a riser. We'll make it a little bit easier, 1 and 20. So if we're not correct, and while we're not correct, and if we're still not correct, it's going to ask for us to enter a number between 1 and 20. If number is greater than secret number, print your guess is too high. Else, if number is smaller than secret number, I'm going to print your guess is too low. So if it's higher than the secret number, it's going to tell you too high. If it's lower than the secret number, it's going to tell you too low. If it's anything else, it's going to print, well done. Sorry, it's going to print, well done. You guessed correctly. It took attempts dot format, and we're going to use something that I've not got yet. So I'm going to have attempts equals 0. Your guess is too high. Attempts equals attempts plus 1. Was attempts plus 2. So I think we're going to run that. Obviously I haven't worked out yet the unique characters side. So 1. Guess is too low. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 9. Well done, you guessed correctly. It took 11 attempts. So part of the challenge here was write a guess game where the user, after every guess, tells the user whether the number is too large or too small, which we've got. At the end of the number of tries, the number of tries needed should be printed, which I have got. It counts as only one try if they input the same number multiple times consecutively. So if I guess 5, 6, 7, 5, then it should no longer count. So this definitely needs what I would call an array or a Python list. I haven't yet learned the formatting for Python lists. I could guess, but essentially what I would do now is for every number that's guessed, I would get that put into a Python list. Before attempts equals attempts plus 1, it would take the input number and make sure that it's not been entered before. But I don't know the scripting format for lists in Python yet, so I'm going to call challenge 9 done because it works, but I need to learn lists and arrays to get that completed. Challenge 10, write a program that prints the next 20 leap years. I don't even know what constitutes a leap year. Let's have a quick look. I think it's just every 4 years, isn't it? I don't even know what a leap year is. What year is a leap year? No. It's just every 4 years. Right, okay, so this year is 2018 for I in range (2018) to 2018 plus 21 years, and then what we can do is a step value of 4, I believe. Print I. Okay, so it's 2018 plus 20 years is 2038, so 2039. I wonder if that's the incorrect syntax. Let's run it again. And what did we decide? 39. So for I in range 2018, 2039, print I. So that should print 20 years. See, I know for loops you can offer a step value. There we go. I had the 4 and the 2039 the wrong way around. So for I in range 2018 to 2039, or I wonder if that will now do what I requested. Yeah, it helps me have it the right round. In steps of 4, print I. So that's not bad. Challenge number 10. That was actually quite a simple little challenge compared to some of the others. So back to challenge number 2. Greet them with their name. Can you tell me your name? I hope you're well. Oh yeah, I remember now. So what I was going to say about challenge number 2 is that essentially, if we really wanted to, we could then go back, and it says I hope you're well. You could then go in here and ask for another input and get some questions and get some dialogue going. I'm not going to, but it was just what went through my mind at the time. Modify the previous program saying that multiples of 3 or 5 are considered in the sum, e.g. 3, 5, 6, 9. For number... Oh right, okay, so it's for number 17. So it's not even enter a number between 1 and 17, so I misread that the first time around. So number is 17. For I in range, I think what we'll do now is we'll just comment this all out. Now we're just going to print I and run that. Let's get rid of that YouTube video, it's distracting. Music wise, I just play like continuous playlists on YouTube usually. So number 17, for I in range we have 1 to 17, which is good. So we found out, didn't we, on the, I've got rid of it now, on the prime number challenge, that I can in fact use a percentage. So let's try for I percent 3. So if I divided by 3 is equal to 0, print I. Let's just run that. Right, there we go. It's me overcomplicating matters. Is equal to 0, here's that, print I. Three, 5, 6, 9, 10, 12, 15. 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 12, 15. Done. That's challenge 5 done. I actually thought that one was going to stump me for a minute. So I can cross out challenge 5. Because I was going to look back into that. And obviously it's, see in this area here. So if I is divisible by 3 and the answer is 0, then print I. Or the same again for 5. So that's challenge number 5 done. Write a program that asks for a number and gives them the possibility to choose between computing the sum and computing the product. Yes. So we came to the conclusion, or I came to the conclusion, obviously I've got, please enter a number. So what I'm going to do for now is just comment these out. Number is going to be 10. Choice is going to be sum. So when we run that, 1, which obviously is not correct. Clear that out of the way. So number equals 10. So number plus 1 equals 11. It's just, I think this is probably one of the parts, I know loads of people find this the most frustrating part of writing code, but I think trying to solve the problems and the stuff that you don't know without instantly jumping to Google is part of the fun for me. So we've got I as a range of 1 to number plus 1, so this should print 1 to 10. Then clear that out and comment that. If choice equals sum, empty number equals empty number plus 1. Plus I, rather. So, and then we'll uncomment that at the bottom. Print empty number. So, we know that's not right. That is why, because it's not activating the if selector. So if choice equals sum, empty number equals empty number plus I, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, adds up to 56. So we're going to leave that as 10, and now we're going to go with product. So we were having problems with product before because I didn't know if you could declare an empty integer. Or no, sorry, I declared an integer of 0, and obviously 0 times anything is 0. However, having an empty number of 1 will give you the options and the choices. So even though this is done, so we'll take this back now to taking an input, and we'll take this back to taking an input as well. So we run it. Please enter a number, 50. Would you like the number or the sum? Sum, 1 to 76. Please enter a number, 50. Would you like the product or the sum? I would like the product. And that's the result of putting in a ridiculous number like 50. Yeah, what I'll take from this is I don't know whether, I'm presuming I have to declare an integer, yeah. So I don't know if it's possible to declare an integer without a value as opposed to declaring an integer with a value of 0. In this case, an integer with a value of 1, I was actually incorrect because it would add an extra 1 on here. This one needs to be 0. For this one it would be correct. I mean, what you could do is you could have empty sum number equals 0 and empty product number equals 1, and then you could change these. You could have empty number, oh, sorry, and this would be empty sum number equals empty sum number plus 1. This would be empty product number equals empty product number times 1. Enter a number 10, sum, I've got an empty so then we need it to go through the loop, come back out and print one or the other. Yeah, so you see, I still don't think this is the right way to do it, because I mean I could have if empty sum number equals 0 still, then print empty product number, else, I need to indent that, else print empty sum number. I mean, I think that'll work. Let me sort that out. So I think it's going to be functioning, but so number 10, sum, prints 55. Number 10, products, I can't spell now, equals 1, which isn't right. So empty product number. You can tell that it's getting late. So 10, product 3628800. So this code that I've created here does work. Let's just close that and put it up on the screen a bit bigger. It does work absolutely fine. I'm just not convinced that it's the right way of doing it. The end result is correct, so technically is it wrong? Probably it's not. It's right because it works, but it's probably not the most efficient way of doing things. So I've written down on my pads, sort of researching empty integers, etc. I'm not sure how long I've done today, so let's have a quick look on the screen recording. I've done 58 minutes. I think that's close enough for an hour. Is that close enough for an hour, or should I talk for a minute and a half? Yeah, so with this one, I just don't think, even though it works, I just don't think it's the most efficient way of doing it. So I would hope that as time goes on, I mean, I will certainly look into the declaration of empty variables to see if you can declare a empty int as opposed to an int with a value of 0. Although in the end, I'm not sure that would have helped me with this anyway. But ultimately, what I have come up with works. Possibly not the most efficient code, but it does work. It runs and it gives the result that we'd expect. So anyway, that's day 3 of my 100 days of code challenge. It's 9 o'clock at night now, and it's time for me to quickly sort out the videos, upload them along with the blog posts. You can follow the journey on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Just look for the hashtag 100 days of code, or pop over to my website, which is aboutpaulc.co.uk. If you can think of a better way of doing this one, please do leave a comment below, because it's going to frustrate me, I think. But yeah, anyway, thanks everyone for watching. If you've got this far and I haven't bored you to death already, tomorrow is day 4, and I'll probably be back onto the Udemy training course tomorrow. I just fancy doing something a little bit different tonight, and it's been quite good fun actually. So anyway, take care guys, hit like and subscribe if you want to follow my journey along on the 100 days of code. It'll be interesting to see where we end up. Have a good one. Bye.